Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
Trying to be professional.
Oh, unlike last week, was it last week?
Yeah.
Unlike last week when I decided to murder my laptop and not be able to do the podcast, you guys, I am back. Shout out to the homie Citizen Snips who came through at the 11th hour and saved my house. It's a beautiful thing. So let's get for the one time for the one time Citizen Snips came through and clutched it up for me and allowed me to be here today, rocking with the team. Listen, We got a lot to talk about today. We have a new guest with us, whose name I'm absolutely in love with, because that's what I want to be right now. I want to be bored. I want to do nothing because my life is constantly moving right now. So
Fair.
I wish I could be Bordy McBoard, but I'm like movie McMove, busy McBusy busy. I'm a busybody. You know that song by Lil Webby? Busybody.
Oh
Boom.
Lord, he just quoted
Boom,
Webby.
I'm a busybody. This is what I am, bro. And but listen, with all that said, what's going on, people? Fam Entertainment here from LV1Gaming.com. And congratulations, you guys leveled up to 232. This is the Double XP podcast. Shout out to the chat, hustle and motivate, who's always hustling and or motivating. Flames is in the building. Citizen Snips is in the building. Shout out to the homie Snips. Yobi's in the building as well. I appreciate you guys rocking through. You guys do me a big favor. If you can, hit that like button. Hit that like button. It helps out a lot. Share the stream out on the tweets, on the bird. Let people know that we are live and we are talking Redfall, Hi-Fi Rush, Forspoken, and much, much more. But first, per usual, going with the introductions. First up, my right hand, man, the floor hugger with the hardest of ours.
No. What's up, guys? I am excited to be here. Dez isn't here, as you might notice, so give Dez some props. It's her birthday, or birthday week. She's celebrating being
Nerd
material
style.
girl out there.
Yeah,
And I'm glad to be back. Glad to have our guest here, and I'm glad to talk about some video games because I got some things to say about Forspoken. Anyway.
Next up, if your email box is full, your DMs is popping. That's because the communication director level 1 game trying to get a hold of you, baby. BJ67, what's going on, Chief?
You know, just out here emailing. I think my sugars is low, and I'm sitting here like wilding out. I'm I'm here, present and accounted for. I watched the Xbox Direct. Awesome. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, Bordy McBoard is here, so I'm not bored.
Next up, as I said before, this is everybody's favorite cousin. It's my guy. Co-host of Dual Shock and Sense podcast. Right at LV1Gaming.com. Co-host of the Page Turners podcast. Be on the mangas they be reading. They can read. You know what I'm saying? They can name 10 books.
Man, talk to me.
My brother, wow, what's going on, brother?
I'm glad we're talking games. We're back, 2023 Bethesda Showcase, and so much Xbox goodness. And I'm glad to say that because it was so dry in the last couple of months, and I'm glad we're strong right now. What's that?
I said not ashy.
I got that lotion in check. Don't worry.
And as you guys see, we do have a guest with us this evening. And for this guest, I'm going to roll the mic over to Barons J67 so we can introduce our guest of the evening.
Esports, sportscasting, HBCUs in all their glory have all encompassed and been covered by the legendary Bordy McBoard.
Oh, thank you. Getting a salute and legendary too, guys. Come on now. I just talk on microphones and try to make people laugh. Come on, it's a lot of prize, a lot of high honor here. I'm just a jokester, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I love the energy and vibes already, guys. Yes.
I'm telling you, we like to have fun here, and I just wanna give you this platform. Let the folks know who Bordy McBoard is. Look, you see how I did. Did you see the transition? Did you see that? It's weird how I get to a point. Okay, I'm gonna get on track. Okay, so yes, guys. All right, look, and then my phone going off, being rude. So, guys, I want to give the floor to Bordy McBoard so that she could definitely sit here and let the world know who Bordy McBoard is.
Hey, okay. Well, I don't know if I can top that amazing lead on to the introduction, so I'll go ahead and ramble on. In addition to that, like you said, my name is Bordy McBoard. I am an esports shoutcaster / broadcaster. I am a what do? I do sports analysis. I do streaming. I do content things, I guess. I'm a comedian in a sorts. I do a lot of different things around the world, but really I'm just somebody who just likes to make people laugh and smile. And so if I can get a laugh or a smile, we doing good in the world. So
That
that's what I do.
that's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So my introduction to you was through the HBCU Esports League. Can you give us a little bit, give the folks a little bit of information about that and what you do over there?
Yeah. So HBCU Esports League, and watch out because the next season, next split is going to be coming up the 31st this January. So go ahead and make sure you have that locked in. But our first split was mainly some 2K action. It was live on the front page Twitch every Tuesday at like either 7 or 6 p.m. And me and my guy Made in India, who actually is a part of 2K League, and also Supreme Sensei and Keats, we would all host slash commentate on a lot of different 2K action, be quick play tournaments, and it lasted until, let's say, like middle of September all the way down to September. So it was a fun time. It was great. I graduated from an HBCU, so to do things in the HBCU world is crazy and great, especially too in the HBCU esports world, because that is something that still needs a lot of growth and development. And I've worked with like 4 or 5 different companies doing things in the HBCU esports lane, whether that be HBCU Heroes, the Yard HBCU Alliance, the Legacy show that's coming up. We did like a precursor to that in the grand finals. There is going to be a 2K quick play showcase for that's happening, and that's all HBCU. That's going to be on TNT too. The main game is going to be on a TNT, but the thing is going to be 2K tournament is going to be on Twitch. So there's a lot of cool things that I'm doing, and I'm glad I could do it because I remember growing up, like I wanted to be involved in the gaming world, particularly on camera. And I would watch like G4, if you guys remember back in
Yep,
the
yep.
day. Yeah, and I just like I
Yeah.
wanted that to be a thing for me. And I was like, I don't know how that could happen. So I just decided, hey, I'm just gonna do the second, third best thing. I'm gonna be a game programmer. And lo and behold, life is weird and has a whole bunch of ups and downs. And I'm doing hosting and I'm doing stuff in the gaming world and I'm on camera and I don't know how this is happening, but I'm trying to see how far it could go, you know?
Hell yeah.
No, and that's is so amazing, right? Like I don't think most people here on this panel have like got to that point that or started off with the hopes of being exactly right here. So to see
Yeah.
somebody who had that dream in the very beginning to
Yeah.
then get like actually be living it, it's like making magic happen, and it's beautiful. But yeah, folks, now where can they find the HBCU Esports League?
Yes, HBCU Esports League will be twitch.com/community. The O in community is actually an X, so CX UMMITY word spelling. I was not a star
Community,
in
but with
spelling,
an X.
but with an X. There you go. Word spelling things.
We'll
So
make
that's
sure to add the
on
link.
that.
Bordy, can I ask you, because here in Canada, I don't think we have them. For those that don't
Yes.
know, what does HBCU mean?
Yes, that is a great question. I'm glad you asked. HBCU means historically black colleges and universities. Way back in the day, of course, you know, America being America, it is. Unfortunately, black people could not go to the same schools as other students in the country, particularly white people, because of segregation. I apologize. So
Yeah.
our own communities and own colleges were made. But even though we're past the point of segregation, HBCUs are still very important. I can attribute not only like my career to doing this because of my HBCU, but also like a lot of good experiences and memories that I've gotten from HBCU. So like nothing but love and proud and support for HBCUs because there are a few of us and they do so much to make sure to propel the method of black excellence and keep it going. And so I'm proud to be from one and hoping that I can do well for my HBCU and for others as well.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Mhm.
That's
some
what I'm
clean
talking
shit right
about.
there.
No, that's
Clean
one
shit.
thing I've always known because I didn't go to a HBCU myself,
Mhm.
but I got family who are, I mean, Alabama, all throughout. Everybody. My brother went to Mississippi Valley State. Like so, it just the love and the pride. Like it is something like homecoming. Like it's something I love to see. I wish I would have been able to take part of, but my mom was real strict and wasn't trying to let me leave California. But then my brother could. Like, don't get me started. This is not a therapy hour.
The oldest too.
Yeah, I'm the oldest. And he's the baby.
As a personal baby, it's funny too because like you talk about HBCUs, I did like marching band, and that's a totally different environment. Like in like PWS, like you did marching band lame versus like HBCUs. Oh, you did marching band.
Everything, yeah.
Okay. But like I got to do all the after school activities and everything, like Revive Club, whatever. And then my sisters like had to beg my mom just to do basketball back in the day. It's hard being the oldest child.
Yeah, it's rough out here. I think that's why I'm living out my childhood like now. Because I mean, look, I even got my Fire Force jacket on. Like I'm really out here just my Pokemon t-shirt. Like it just
living your best life.
I'm living it now. I'll never grow up.
Time, okay? Reclaim that time, okay?
Yeah, right? It's fine. I'm gonna be okay. So it looks like Fame is back. So we're gonna be running.
It's like, oh, okay, Fame's back. So microphone, Fame, and look, you know, get it? You know what I'm saying? You know, and then something he can be doing. He be trying to get some stuff together and try to, you know.
So what happened?
Do it. You know, that's fine. You know.
Hey, no, because I feel like I'm horrible with the transitions. But you know, speaking of a horrible transition, a lot of people weren't too happy with Redfall. No, you see, I told you. Look, that's what I said. I'm not the guy to do this. Okay.
Listen, with that transition, we're not going to jump into Redfall, right? Bad transition, B, but you know you'll get there. You know,
you'll get it.
Swaggy C is in a building. What's going on with your Swaggy C? I see you, my brother. I saw another name up in this Joker earlier. Jeremy Brown was in this piece, man. I appreciate you coming through and rocking with it. We're going to talk about some Redfall gameplay. As you guys know, we were able to interview Noveen Crombie, who is absolutely amazing. Love her, everything she does. The global voice of E Network. She's actually getting a really big following on TikTok. And I don't know if you're following on TikTok. People are really starting to see how super uber talented this Black Queen is, and I love her to death. We was able to interview her not too long ago. And today during the Xbox Direct, which by the way, panel, tell me if I'm wrong, that the show went how we expect, right? It went pretty smooth. But that gameplay of Redfall was everything for me that I needed to see.
Yep.
Honestly and truly, this game for me was more anticipated than Starfield. I had no qualms saying that from the very beginning. Redfall was something I was really looking forward to. And I'm definitely going to play with Layla Ellison off the rip. You know, big poofy beautiful for her. Me and Layla going at it, right? So for them to show us different characters' abilities, the different weapons, different ways you can use the stakes, whether it's you can use a pistol, whether it's weapons that are created within the game specifically to defeat vampires, the different biomes you will go into, the different levels on how you're going to reclaim the city of Redfall, going with the you know, going through the town, beating a semi type boss to collect the skull to be able to eventually get to a bigger boss. I thought was really super dope. I love the seeing how the different abilities work with each other. I can see a lot of people wanting to play this game in co-op for the simple fact that, okay, I want to be able to I forgot the sniper's name, I apologize, and have Layla use her ability to shoot him up in the sky to be able to get that clear sight, you know. One of the abilities we saw was the guy sending out his bird to kind of tag the enemies, and the other guy used his teleporter to kind of get rid of that big gap. That's super cool, and that's super dope. My only issue is that seeing how the characters work and play with each other is going to make people want to play the game together. But what sucks is I feel like I need to hurry up and beat the story because I want to play with B, and I'm in his story missions. If I might already have done this, I have to do it again on my own. That's the one issue. And I believe the loot that you get and everything else it stays. However, the story progressions that we do together, in my own game, it won't be there. Now, and I think that's a bit of a downer because when you look at how these abilities were used and how the characters have a banter, it makes you want to play with other people. Now, granted, I don't know how it's going to work when you're playing solo. Will you be able to bring in other CPU characters, or are you literally by yourself? Which is what I think it is. I think when you're playing alone, you are truly playing alone, right? But I feel like I'm talking too much. B, I'm gonna switch over to you and get your thoughts on what we saw from Redfall today.
So for me, Redfall was scarier than I thought it was going to be. In which I hope they do keep it as scary as it looked. Like if every time you walk into a building and the lights is out, it is that horrifying, because that was not no light work. Like all you could clearly see was the range of your light, your flashlight, and you walking through a creepy house and you already know you're dealing with vampires. So you don't know what type of vampires you're dealing with. You don't know, like that fear factor adds an extra intensity to the game, especially when you're running by yourself. So if it's going to give you multiple experiences, because I mean, I was talking earlier about Resident Evil and just the idea of, like, I feel like Resident Evil would be less scary if you was running around with 2 or 3 other people. Now, like it just, so I can only imagine how horrifying this is about to be. And I hope it's not just like those moments, like scary moments. I hope that fear factor, as much as I hate scary games, and I always say that, but I always still end up playing them. I really do all the time. Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 remake, Village. And these are some of the scariest ones.
Oh, I can't wait till 4 comes out too. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Oh
It's gonna be so
Lord.
good.
I keep saying I'm not gonna play it. I keep saying I'm not gonna play it, but
it's so much scarier. But yeah.
right. But no, but with Redfall, I hope that fear factor does not leave. And I wish they would adjust that whole multiplayer transitioning, because I know that if I may be in a position to where I never fully finish the game in my own world, because I'll just be constantly jumping around doing stuff. Like I could totally see that happening, just the way I play games.
So can you jump in to a mission that you haven't done in someone else's world?
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I really wanted that because, again, I don't see them restricting you from doing it. I would hope that there's something that pops up that says, hey, you haven't gotten this part of the game. But for some reason, I feel as though if the game really is where it's single player, you're in the world by yourself, I feel like it's going to be one of those games where if you bring somebody else in, you have to start the game that way.
Because y'all are more in depth with this. I saw, but I don't know if they mentioned. Did they mention if you could trade equipment?
No mention of that.
Yeah. So I would see it like Diablo. Not comparing company, but comparing the game. Where in Diablo, I would play with people that had beaten the game like 4 times, and they would drop loot that would allow me to just speed through the first couple levels because I already played it with them. Or if they're gonna go more like Elden Ring, where you need to access an area before you can play it with a friend. Because in Elden Ring, how it works is you can't really do co-op unless you keep beating at the same time each level, and then like beat it on your world with your friend, and then go to their world and beat it, and then keep doing that, rinse and repeat with every section. I wonder if with Redfall they'll make it more seamless, where hopefully they allow the shared progression, because I like that. That's the beauty of Dying Light. In Dying Light, I believe there's shared progression, and you can just play the whole game with a friend, and it just works. It just works.
Your loot and everything stays, and abilities gained and XP gained stays with you. It's just the story progression you don't get. Everything else is supposed to stay.
That's weird. That's that's almost like Destiny.
Borderlands 3, where the guns stay your level even if you're with somebody higher.
which is gonna
Like,
create
that's
some issues.
Yeah.
It
Depending
is.
on like if you're first level and they're like all the way, let's beat the game. Like, no, I can't. I'm gonna get it like torn
I'm
up.
gonna get
Like, no,
destroyed. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to enjoy the difficulty, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't what was the most recent one? I was gonna say Dead by Daylight, but no.
Evil
When we
Dead.
played Black for Blood.
The one we played, Back for Blood.
Oh,
I
Back for
always
Blood.
want to say
Blood?
black. I always want to say Black for Blood.
Black for Blood.
But no.
Shut up. I hate y'all.
But no,
You suck.
didn't in that game, like I felt like I missed levels, like because I would just jump in online like parties that were forming, and I feel like I beat the game without knowing how we got
Anything.
to that point because I was able to just jump into somebody's final mission. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
It's gonna be
Bro,
weird.
what is going on in the chat? Jesus Christ.
Well, no,
what
because I
happened?
hope there is a vampire crab.
Yeah, but
Um,
no, salt mines, crabs is.
Oh yeah, that. Well, there,
Oh.
there's definitely a musty vampire there who has those.
Yeah. That's
Well,
something I
don't know,
appreciate
'cause they
though.
have to be
from-
on something living, but
I like that we're, zombies are to the side. I'm glad we're focusing on a different type of enemy. I want more vampires.
That is
Zombies, bro.
true. Innovation. Come on
Absolutely.
now. New
Whenever I
blood.
played Vampire the Masquerade and everyone was like a vampire with different abilities, I'm like, oh, I want more of this. I want those rich assholes,
Yeah, they are rich.
But you know
And
the
I'm
reason
clipping
why
that.
we have so many zombie games is because people fell in love with them and they're like, yeah. And then if people fall in love with vampires again, we're gonna see a shit ton more vampire games come out. And then
Oh,
we're gonna be
yeah.
like, is this over?
It's the same reiteration. It's just like, Call of Duty. There's a whole bunch of like Call of Duty clones, and then as soon as they add zombies, and there's a whole bunch of battle royales. Everybody decided to add a battle royale. Even like
The
Halo
boost.
was considering, and it's just like,
They should.
Everyone wanted backpacks and wanted to boost jump onto buildings, and now no one wants.
Bro.
leveling systems, RPG elements and stuff like that, even when it doesn't make sense.
RPG?
So, yeah. I do love RPG elements though, but like some games
Yeah,
are just
no.
like you don't need the progression tier, and they're just let's add it anyway. Ah.
So are we gonna officially
Or-
admit that 2K is a RPG?
It is an RPG.
It
I
is.
mean,
In a way,
life is an
yes.
RPG, so 2K by default is.
Life is an RPG.
Yeah, you choose what to study. You
actually,
choose if you should, lift weights or focus more on academics. So
I would say
Life
it's a
is
gas.
Persona.
It's more of a games as a service.
Life is an RPG, and for some reason, my difficulty is set to high. And I've been trying my damnedest to get on novice, and I can't.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's like how
that
I
shit
would
is-
say when-
Novice, let's be honest.
You cruise by too easily. If you
my
guys ever,
shit is on legendary, and I can't adjust.
yeah.
He doing a death march out here.
you over here playing like Dark Souls 3, and you're like,
My RPG on legendary, and I've been trying my best to loot. I've been trying type shit, cheat codes. None of that work.
Yeah.
I just want,
I'm still on level 1. We fighting the same boss every week, getting my ass whooped.
I just
That's
want
where my RPG is going.
Like SAO.
Poor
just
thing.
study
Oh
the first
Lord.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever if you guys use Reddit, there's a whole subreddit called r/outside where they pretend outside is an RPG, and so it's just like, oh man, but I
I
don't
might
want to
have to
level up
look.
today right now because they're saying it's legendary right now, and I don't want to right now.
Oh,
Or it's
man.
I keep on leveling up even though I don't want to. I just want the progression.
That's
just
the
to
thing.
Say, yes,
You're in the same area, but you keep leveling up, but you're not getting no
Yes.
stronger.
exactly.
Shit just
Like,
getting harder.
I'm not getting any stat buffs right now to help me out.
Oh, this is horrible. This game sucks.
Literally the whole subreddit.
And then it keeps forcing me to do this stupid cooking thing. I don't like cooking.
Oh,
And these
man.
weird puzzles that keep popping up. Yeah, bro, it's unnecessary, bro. This is trash.
Yeah, you gotta play this.
I want to switch to you and about Redfall. I don't know how interested you were in Redfall before and how much of the gameplay reveal that you saw, but where's your interested meter at with Redfall right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, I really like it. Probably I've been trying to find newer IPs I can get into, and Bethesda I do love so much because Fallout has a special place in my life, and this feels kind of like Fallout-esque, where it's just guns
Baron
moving
loves you
around
even
and
more now.
movements. Fallout is my shit, man. It's so great. Can I curse? I didn't even ask if I can
Oh
curse.
yeah, no, you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
I just went ahead and just threw S. But it's my shit, man. I love it so much, and it feels sort of like that. And knowing Bethesda, there's always oh, much.
He's got his nerd
I
room.
love that so much. The banner is great. I need some memorabilia to fall out on my
Hey,
wall.
remember this part and remind me after the podcast to make a smart ass comment about what you just showed, but it's not for the show.
It's a personal
for after
vendetta.
dark.
But it's adding some horror elements into it and the co-op system with it too. I really appreciate that. I feel like, especially to Bethesda games, there's a little jankiness about it, but I love the jankiness about it too. And I feel like
Yep.
Skyfall, it feels like a little bit more professional, and we're serious Bethesda. Whereas this one, it feels like, hey, we're just fucking around. We're all just getting here. We're all just shooting zombies, having a good time. Well, not zombies. Vampires, but it's kind of like
Vampires.
zombies. Let's admit it's kind of like zombies. But
It is
in that thread, it brings up a lot of good things that I love about Bethesda games. So I'm very excited. It feels like it's hitting back home in all the roots that I really like. So yeah, super excited. Yeah.
Walt, I'm gonna swing over to you. Redfall Diggler release date, it is May 2nd.
Birthday too. It's lit.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
It's releasing on Xbox, Steam, all that good stuff. But Walt, I want to get your thoughts on Redfall, because this is a game that I think not only Microsoft sees the value in, but at some point Sony did too, because they tried to make this game an Sony exclusive. So that's why I don't think people really understood that a lot of people were probably going to be excited for this game, because there seemed to be a fight over who wants to get the exclusivity, right? But I do want to get your thoughts on the gameplay that you saw and your overall expectations for Redfall.
It's the same thing that I had with Returnal, where no amount of gameplay sold me on it until a specific trailer hit. And this was that trailer, and I was like, oh, I'm buying this. I'm getting this.
Bye.
I'm gonna play this.
We play Game Pass around this mug.
I'll have to renew that Game Pass
Physical.
because I canceled a while ago, because I honestly barely play my Xbox right now because of my Steam Deck, and I just game there on my Game Pass, because you can download Game Pass on the Steam Deck. So I'll probably check it out on handheld to see how that plays, because it looks a lot of fun. They emphasize density, and I am all about density over like square miles, square feet, like how large the map is. That's why I prefer games like Prey over games like I like Fallout, but over Fallout, because it's more vertical than it is like width. That's why Cyberpunk works so much for me, because there's layers to it. There's different levels to the city, underground and above the ground, and buildings you can go in. And this one seems like everything matters. Like every square inch of this map matters, and it was made with purpose. And when you can tell that it was made by a person and not just procedurally generated, that's when it works. And it looks twisted. It reminds me of a Tim Burton movie. It reminds me of Lovecraftian like lore, like Bloodborne, where you go to the Nightmare of Mensis and you see like the buildings curving and getting messed up. I love it. I love how dark it is. Baron saying it's scary. That's a plus for me. That makes me want to play it even more. I'm all for horror, first-person shooters specifically, because you're right there with the horror. That's why Prey works so much, because mimics you don't know where they are. Could be a chair, and you're looking at a chair, and then it jumps at you. It looks great. It looks like it's like game. It looks like very gamey, and I love it. It looks wacky. It's like if Borderlands and like some other first-person shooter like had a baby in terms of
That's
like
a good point.
humor. I love it, and yeah, the Bethesda jankiness. It's nostalgic at this point. I don't know. I'm more excited for this than Starfield, because sometimes I think being overly ambitious is a detriment.
Yes.
And I think when he said that 1,000 planets,
train, baby.
I said 1,000 planets, I'm out. I'm
especially knowing Bethesda, because like we talk about that jankiness, and it's like if you can barely do it in a single contained
in
game,
one city.
yes, think about like infinite amount of
Bethesda catching
possibilities,
strays.
infinite
Bethesda
amount of
stay catching
jank
strays.
can happen.
Yeah.
That 76 is a perfect example of that, where 76
Right?
didn't really work out as much as he wanted. It's a great idea, but it's a little bit beyond, I feel like, they're grasping the polish of it, because also too you get very monotonous. I feel like when you have like all the possibilities in the world, you end up getting to a point where there's not a lot of care and craft into everything too. So that's why Starfield for me was always like but like Redfall kind of like gets me way more excited. This is home for the Bethesda.
Exactly. It's a developer knowing its strengths, and
Yes.
it's the way that I always compare every single FromSoft game and Elden Ring, because Elden Ring, while it excels in so many things, it's only in these specific contained areas that are called legacy dungeons, and then everything else is just open map, and then it doesn't work for me the way Sekiro or Bloodborne does, because everything is just interconnected and focused and like polished up to no tomorrow. It's not this, the only one that I can say that I enjoy, it's very big, it's No Man's Sky, but that one went through like through a lot of turbulence to get to the point where it's at now. They released like 16 different DLCs and patches and updates for free. But I'm excited for Redfall fame. I'm excited that I can say, hey, have you been playing that Xbox exclusive, huh? Since Gears, my last time that I played an Xbox exclusive that I was like, oh, I bought an Xbox. It was literally the first time I bought an Xbox, which was the Gears 4 edition Xbox, and I was like, oh wow, Xbox, and then I was like, Xbox, and now I'm like back at it. I'm excited again.
I'll switch over to you, right? Because Arcane Studios, right? So you think of the Dishonored series, Prey, Deathloop, right? You think those? I don't know if they've done any other major titles, right? But Dishonored series, Prey, and Deathloop. From what you've seen from Redfall, could this possibly be? Because they said inside the developer direct, this is the biggest game they've ever made. Could you see this from? I know it's early. Could this possibly be the best game they've made? I didn't like Deathloop. I tried. I gave it old sailors, I did. I tried, and I couldn't get into it. Prey I thought was good. The Dishonored series, I liked one in particular. It was
Death of the Outsider.
It was the Death of the Outsider. There you go.
Yeah.
So from what you've seen so far, could this be not only what they said is the biggest game they made, but the best game Arcane has made?
I don't know. First of all, salt mines, that is what she said. She is very dense.
Whoa.
I don't know, because Dishonored came at a weird time, and it's become a cult classic because it kind of replaced Thief when the Thief series was trying to come back, but it did it better. And I do like Dishonored too, but Baron and I have talked about this ad nauseum, where there's a certain point where it's just like, I need to be out of this game. It needs to be done.
Slog.
But I still
There's
really
literally.
enjoy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Prey 2017 was not the original Prey, but that's okay.
It's a totally different Prey, yeah.
It was really good. I thought it was a really good game, and Walt's right. I want that tension, that horror of those mimics. I almost pissed myself several times. That's why I did not stream it. I don't know if this will be their best game, because for some people, it's going to be right on the nose. For other people, it's not. Are people going to enjoy it? Hell yeah. And I hope this joins the very short list of really good vampire games, because there's Vampire the Masquerade, which people love. There's Vampire, which is the Dark Souls
Doctor.
Yep, it was really good, really complex, and I'm hoping this joins that list of just people want vampire games, because people want Vampire the Masquerade too. People have been campaigning for it, even though I don't know what's going to happen to that game, and people want good vampire games. So I'm hoping this ticks off the good FPS. It's got solid controls, because if it doesn't have a good controls, what's the point of it being there? I hope it has good story. I hope they fix they get rid of the no story progression thing for crossover. And I hope when you're in single player, they don't do what Back 4 Blood did, and they don't give you achievements or even count the single player as having been played at all. Because that shit.
I think
oof.
Hugger, 2 more games that involve vampires. Not a game, but it could be its own game, Witcher Blood and Wine, which did vampires immaculately. And you also have where was it? V Rising, the most recent game that lets you play as a vampire and like make your own like castle and all this thing. So vampires are cool. It's just that people haven't touched on it.
It's true. I mean, if you really want to be specific to Lady Dimitrescu is almost a vampire, even though she doesn't have
Infamous
fangs.
2? Infamous 2 Festival of Blood?
Well, there's people want vampire stuff. They just don't want it to be overdone. Because, I mean, there's some really good vampire movies out there, too. You can't skimp on the lore of stuff like that, either. You gotta, if you're going in, you gotta go one way or the other. And thank God there's so much lore. Look at the Underworld series. You can pull from everywhere. So I hope they do it good. I hope it's fun to play. And I hope from the gameplay I've been showing on screen, there's a lot of ugly looking bosses, but I hope there's one sexy boss that you feel real bad about killing, but you really have to kill her.
It has to be.
It has to.
It's just
like,
real sexy.
Yeah.
They need to go ahead and vampire up Layla Ellison, or something.
Lady D DLC. Lady DLC.
That'll
me. Skadoosh.
Need that Lady DLC, bro. That'd be one hell of a crossover. But I'm super excited. I think a lot of people are excited for this game. It's dope that it has a release date. We're finally getting, it's even though we look at stuff like Starfield had a release date as well. I think this is pretty solid. I think it will launch May 2nd, and it's good to finally see some release dates from Xbox. But speaking of Xbox releases, right? They shadow dropped the game today, right? Shout out to Special Nick over at Xbox Era who talked about this game not too long ago and talked about, hey, the Xbox Xbox has another game getting ready to be announced, and it was Hi-Fi Rush. It's something completely different. Tango Gameworks has done. They normally do horror stuff, Evil Within, so on and so forth. For them to drop this game, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I saw it, my very first thing was Sunset Overdrive. First thing I saw. Then No More Heroes. Like, I love the look of this game. I know some people were saying they were out on the rhythm aspects of it. And I'm just like, bro, that's because you can't stay on beat. You tap your feet, you can't dance. Because this game looks, I'm just saying, this game looks absolutely dope. B, I'm gonna swing over to you with your no dancing, no rhythm having ass. Hi-Fi Rush releases. Is it out? Is it already downloadable? I know it's supposed to be today.
It's downloadable.
Your thoughts be on Hi-Fi Rush?
They had me hook. I signed up. I was that fish. They was trying to. I was just put me on. I'm in.
Hey, yo.
And then they said rhythm, and I was like,
that you was out on that.
It was enough for me to hard pause and not want to play anymore because I'm your resident button masher. Hi, when I'm playing fighting games, I do jump a lot and I do leg sweep a lot and I do mash buttons. It definitely sounds like,
bruh.
and there's no I'm gonna play it because for one, I have Game Pass and it'd be silly of me not to give it a try. The art style looked awesome, the story looked dope. I like the idea of being able to bring in multiple friends, like your not real life friends, but in-game friends and companions and whatnot. That's the proper term. And I was looking for it. Y'all wasn't helping either. Like y'all was just watching me go through that. It is okay.
Yeah.
So we go get it. I was like, friends, people, other characters in game, companions. Thank you.
Got this.
Y'all are horrible. Y'all just gonna let me out here flounder. Hey,
it's not off. You can't read.
I know why you don't like some anime.
It's not his fault. He can't read. Big Daddy is a classic, but anybody who don't like Big Daddy is a loser.
Hip Hop Anonymous.
What do you say? I win. Win. This is bullshit. Bullshit.
I'm sorry, but yeah, y'all cold for that. I'll never let y'all live that down, leaving me
Be
out
nice
there
at
like
delivery, guys. Not his fault. That's bad.
Yo.
that. I
Sorry.
done
You can't have
fogged up
nice
my
things.
glasses. But yeah, so with the companions and whatnot, I did think Sunset Overdrive, even though I never played it. But yeah, never played it.
Fun game.
You
Fun
would
game.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't play Sunset Overdrive?
Is it better than Jet Set Radio?
They're not
I
even
mean,
on
what
the
if?
same level.
Yeah.
You can't come.
No.
Here's the thing. I know we got to talk about Hi-Fi Rush, bro. You need to play Sunset Overdrive.
Okay.
You like
You
the
need
humor.
to play Sunset Overdrive. You will enjoy it. Sunset Overdrive deserves a sequel.
It does.
Insomniac never gave the IP to Xbox, so Insomniac owns the IP for. I'm surprised we haven't got a PS5 release for Sunset Overdrive, right? Because I'm sure Microsoft is not going to be bothered getting some extra money off the top end because they published the game, right? And so I'm sure they're going to need special privileges to release the game. But that game deserves a sequel, and I don't care if it's a PS5 exclusive because Insomniac owns it. I'm going to play it. Trust me. I know we're talking about Hi-Fi Rush. Do yourself a favor, play Sunset Overdrive. When you play Sunset Overdrive, you will understand where the mechanics for Spider-Man came from.
Super fun, super fast paced, like so smooth. The gameplay is the humor, like you talked about. It's so good. It's so good. I love that game, and I feel like it was highly rated. It was like kind of like mid-rated, but it kind of like it had like a teetering of cult classic, and then people just forgot about it. Like, but it's not something that should be forgotten about because it's really fun, super fun.
Sunset Overdrive was hurt more so because of the issues with the Xbox One and the negative light that was on the Xbox One. If Sunset Overdrive released now, just not releasing, but it'd be everywhere. It would be probably one of the most talked about games this generation. And so for a lot of people who talk about Sunset Overdrive, like we try to tell people, hey, go play it. But a lot of people kind of, Xbox One, that game needs would do wonders with an upgrade. But I'm telling you, on your Series X, download it. You're gonna have a hell of a time. You're gonna thank us later, bro.
Yep.
I promise you.
All right, back to why I don't want to play Dance Dance Revolution Fighter. Don't
disrespectful.
This man, the disrespect.
Hey, everybody got a problem with QuickTime events until it's with a beat.
Oh, you should try a game like Metal Hellsinger. Oh my god,
Metal Hellsinger.
That game is so good. Metal Hellsinger. You gotta try.
We gotta let that breathe, bro. Everybody got issues with QuickTime.
Like Metal Hellsinger, right? Like you talked about trying to be on beat and being a rhythm game. Like Metal Hellsinger, you can still be off beat and still play the game. And this looks like it's gonna be the same way. It's like it's gonna be better. You might be able to get, more damage or whatever. But I still think this type of game, it's not like if you got no rhythm, you can't play.
It's not Parappa the Rapper where it's gonna fail you.
Yeah.
It's not the Persona like Dancing in the Stars, whatever game.
Punch. It's all in the mind.
Yeah, it's not that. It ain't that.
Check the beat.
It's not
all in the mind.
Punch.
He punched when he should have kicked. No,
someone mind you, Parappa the Rapper, someone Mimir in Ragnarok, he makes reference to. He calls him the best musician of all time when referring to PlayStation All-Stars. And he refers to Parappa the Rapper. So hey, don't diss on the man. He knows how to sing, I guess.
Lord. Well, look, all jokes aside, I'm gonna try it out. I'm probably gonna struggle. I seen there was a grading scale. I'm definitely C's get degrees. And I'm telling you, I'm ready to try it out, and it looks dope. And I'm glad that they shadow dropped. I love shadow drops. I think that's the hugest thing ever. And Xbox needs more of these. Xbox overall needs to do, and I know this wasn't one of the topics, but Xbox needs to do 10 to 15 minute showcases each month showing the games they're putting on Game Pass. There's no reason not to. Why they do that whole, here's the games coming, still image on Twitter. Like that is the weird. I was like, y'all are one of the richest companies on earth, not in the US, on earth. And y'all just do a screenshot image like, hey, by the way, and they use the same template. They don't even do themes. You would think they would at least do themes. Like, why was there not a showcase showing Monster Hunter? We got Monster Hunter and 2 Persona games this month.
Right? 2 of the most anticipated Persona games, and they're on PC, which Persona 3 was never on PC. Persona 4 came last year and like broke records. Persona 5 is now on PC. And
Monster Hunter Rise.
You didn't know.
Why didn't you have a 10 to 15 minute showcase? They need to do it. More, not so much to this scale. We do need more of these, but they need to scale it down. 10 to 15 minutes, just showing some gameplay, have somebody in the background. Hey, check out the next game that's coming. Because it'll give a little more hype behind the game, other than, I mean, even though they get free marketing from everybody on Twitter. But that's beside the point. They need to do more of these.
But they can cut us as a rail, though. They can
that's what. That's it. Just show some gameplay and talk. Hey, this is coming on this day.
Right.
And then show the game. Hey, this, and then next, this game is coming. Like, that's it.
We can't just wait till E3 or CS or PAX. We have to like start micro, because like there were a lot of games. Even as I was looking and waiting for games and thinking of games towards the end of the year. And because of COVID, like the release schedule has been thrown off a whack. But I was sitting here trying to think of like newer IPs to get really involved in, and I was drawing blanks because there have been less of those in the last couple of years. And so when you have these, it reminds you, oh yeah, there are good things coming out, but it's easy to get lost in the sauce and think about, the same old things that you're used to, the same ecosystems you're used to.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's so many games out here. It's you need to promote your own stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it. That's all I'm asking them to do.
Yeah,
like,
that's why
it's
you
yours.
see. That's why you see PlayStation titles do so poorly on PC, because they don't market that shit.
No,
At all.
I figure out about it because Epic is like, hey, did you know this release? And I'm like, oh, really? Like, I didn't know. Okay, this is cross-platform news to me.
They put the Uncharted collection on Steam, and like no one knew about it. And they were like, whoa, wait. And even I was like, wait, really? Wait, when? When did that happen? No, it's crazy. But hey, so much money, so many layups, though. You know, I don't know, man.
Just show your games off, because people forgot Atomic Heart was coming out next month. So
that's a beautiful game. Getting ready to drop soon. But I do want to. I know we got we kind of went left. I don't know how. Shout out to the chat. Luke is in the building. What's going on, Luke? Man, Xbox Expansion Podcast. My brother, make sure you guys go check out this show, man. This podcast is one of the best podcasts going right now. Make sure you guys go show my man some love. Bordy, I want to switch over to you. Hi-Fi Rush, your thoughts about this game. You've played Sunset Overdrive, so I know you kind of got that feel when you started. Your thoughts on this game?
Yes.
And Xbox shadow dropping it today. I thought that was pretty awesome. They told us we're only gonna get about 4 games, and they dropped us a game to play today. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yes, I love it. Reminds me of like all of the best of the Suda 51 titles. I did like Sunset Overdrive. I didn't like No More Heroes, but for my own separate reasons. But like it reminds me of all the good. I don't know, the art style reminds me of a classic like PS2, like Jet Grind
13.
Radio. Excuse me, 13. Yes, 13. Yeah. Even like the guitar, the rhythm element. I love rhythm games. I was trying to think of it, and I was trying to like look for it on the side. There was like a rhythm game that got released a couple years ago that was like a brother and sister, and like one of their friends was like a bull, and they had like this whole like stage. I forgot everything about the game. I don't.
I know what game you're thinking.
Yeah,
is it like Going Home or something like that?
I can look at it. I can't.
Demi did a review on it.
Yeah, I can't.
Are they dinosaurs?
I didn't play it.
No, people.
Yeah, people for sure. I didn't play it. I looked at somebody playing in Discord, and I was like, I need to play this game, and it reminds me sort of like that. I love like cell shading and odes to that. But to have also the rhythm element to it too, it reminds me like it sucks. It reminds me of like when I wanted to play Mother 3 and I couldn't play like the rhythm element going because emulators didn't do the rhythm element correctly. But
Yeah.
now I finally get to do things like that with this game. I really appreciate it, and I love it. I look forward to more just funny, goofy, fun things
Unbeatable.
like this. Unbeatable. I can't
That's
remember.
a rhythm game about two brothers, and it's like
Mhm.
very. It looks like
No,
Studio Trigger made it.
it's a brother and sister. There's like a boy and a girl. Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And again, for it to just be like you can download it right now, great.
That's the best part.
Like for me, I'm waiting for the, I'm a cheap person. I always like to wait until the bugs get
Hey.
worked
Yeah,
out.
cheap is
And
smart.
everything, because the only games like on release I'll probably play maybe Redfall, but Bethesda. I know Bethesda be Bethesda, in, so glitches are going to be galore. But the only things I get day of are probably Nintendo games because they never go down in price, and they're
The
usually
quality is normally high.
unless it's Pokemon, the quality is normally high.
Even with the bad quality, it's still so much fun. I play it almost every day.
It is.
Nerd.
I play it all the time.
I like
That's the
that
highest
shirt.
selling one.
I like that shirt. And then Rockstar Games too, because even though they might have a couple glitches, but it's so much you can do. So yeah, but I'm gonna wait on it just a little bit to see and make sure that the gameplay is good. But I can't wait to play games like that. Really like boost a little nostalgia. Really fun, really quick. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be a little quick lane, but it's just fun, excitement,
Maybe
energy,
6 hours.
and great.
max.
Yeah. That's something that I look forward to in games because I feel like too many games. Let's move on. Open world for no reason. That's part of the reason why I didn't like No More
Open
Heroes.
world fatigue easy.
Yeah, and I love open world. I just hate useless ones. That's part of the reason I don't like No More Heroes, even though I like everything about the game. Like the humor is good. It just felt like we have this open world, just have it, and there's nothing really you could do, and all the side quests are boring. But it's here, I'm just here for the story. I'm here for the elements. Give me the highlights. So that seems like that type of game. So I'm here for it. I love it.
Hey Walt, I want to switch over to you and talk about Hi-Fi Rush. Right, your thoughts on what we saw, and do you? I'm gonna ask a question that's probably pretty obvious, but Xbox needs more of these. I mean, yes, we know they got the Fables, the Avoweds, they got all these big AAA titles coming up, right? These Xbox need more games like this that, hey, we're gonna shadow drop it today, and it looks pretty cool because they just had something like Pentiment, which Pentiment might not be for everybody, but they just kind of dropped it. There was no big lead up to it, right? So your thoughts on Microsoft sort of switching to this? Hey, here's a game, go play it, download the Game Pass right now. Also, with your thoughts on what you saw from Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah.
I mean, first, I think Shadow Drop, like Baron said, I mean, it should be done more because it also gets people looking at the catalog now when you want them to look at, because you're going to start releasing more games. So you want to get them hooked on other games so that when they play the new games, they're like, oh, I got to get back to that other one I saw. So it keeps this cycle of never-ending playing on Game Pass. There's so many games. Because you eventually reach that fatigue of, there's too many options. I don't know what to play, because I think there's a psychology behind the whole, owning versus having the subscription. There's people that just don't play the games and they just have the subscription. Definitely Shadow Drop more. It's so good. This game looks so good. It looks like I feel like a kid when I look at the trailer. It feels nostalgic for an era that I wasn't in, because I'm a 90s kid, and this feels like something that early 90s, late 80s kids would like be playing in an arcade. It reminds me a lot of the art style. It's very, what's that game? Streets of Rage. Like, it reminds me of Streets of Rage a little bit.
I love that game so much.
It
First
reminds
video game I played.
It's so good. I played Streets of Rage, I think it was 4. That was my first Streets of Rage, and it's so good. And the music, it's not a rhythm games by any means, but it serves, like, the aesthetic is there, you know what I mean? I'm not a rhythm game player, like, naturally. I don't seek him out. When there's, like, an exception like the Persona games, because I love Persona, I'll play them. The only other rhythm game I've ever played in my life that I really sink hours in was Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, I think it was, which actually worked. It's hard. It's really hard. It gets because it's the tracks you know and love, and you know that those tracks can get really complicated. And I think with this one, it at least gives you the freedom to go at your own pace, like Metal Hellsinger. While there is the beats per seconds or whatever, and it keeps going and going. You don't have to engage all the time. You just have to do it when you're fighting, and that's what this looks like. I think what Baron alluded to, it's more of a quick time event, like a Parappa the Rappa, where if you're not on your game, you're losing because there's a score. But with this one, you're just trying to defeat enemies while getting a combo, almost like Devil May Cry. Only that this time you have the added beat, and it makes it more fun. And for me, I like that challenge because it makes me think like what would. It's like Sekiro. Sekiro's not by any means a rhythm game, but there's a rhythm to it. There's just no music, but there's a rhythm that every boss encounter has. That it's almost like a song playing. That if you stray from that rhythm,
all these great games,
bro.
Don't do that.
Sekiro, there's fights that have enemies changing from spears to guns, and it's almost like it's like transitioning from the hook to the drop, and then to the melody, and then you're like, if you stray from that. Dude, Sekiro.
I'm not gonna let you have this, sir.
Bro. That's my number 2. That's my number 2 in FromSoft catalog. But yeah, no, Hi-Fi Rush. This looks so good. I can't wait to see the humor. The humor actually doesn't seem bad, unlike other games.
Oh no, you not.
No. You may think, but it's not that game. You may think it's that game.
It's the other one.
It's other games, but I'm excited.
Let's do it.
We need less serious games. We don't always need this hyper realistic Redfall. It's in Starfield. So while Redfall does seem wacky, there's also some tension to it. I also like my Ratchet and Clanks, but I also like my Last of Us. I like to be in both ways. I like to be dying, but I also like to have fun.
Can I say real quick? That's why I didn't like in the mid 2000s. There was games are for real, and we're gonna be serious. And everything had that stupid grimy filter on it, and everything was too action movie.
Kane and Lynch.
Oh, Kane and Lynch. I feel like Resident Evil 5 a bit had a little bit of that too. I feel like a little bit of that even in
Over edgy.
Stop taking yourself so serious. Games are supposed to be fun. They can also have serious elements too, and there are of course beautiful games that are and get into all of the things, but it felt like games are for real instead of just games can be whatever you want, and I like humorous things. I like things that don't take itself so seriously and are just fun. So I agree with that. Make games fun, please.
Oh yeah, that's why games like Resident Evil Village and 7 work so much, because you play the game once, it's serious, but then you have these incentives to play it again, but it makes it wacky. So now you have to beat the game, and you'll get a rocket launcher, or you'll have infinite ammo, and it'll become more fun than it is tense.
Yes, that's why I appreciate Capcom does that so well. Dead Rising, making that funny was great. I was so worried about when the new Resident Evil trailer came out that it was going to take itself too seriously, and it was just going to be we're dark and we're gritty and horror, and it's like that's great. But a great thing about Resident Evil 4 is you're in the middle, you just went through all this action sequence, and there's a chair there, and then you click it, and Leon's why is that there?
Where's everyone going?
Yes.
Bingo.
Right, where's everyone going? Shut up, Leon, you're terrible. But this is why we love it, and I wanted the corniness, and thank God in the gameplay, the bigger gameplay, they had that fun with it too. But I want to have fun with my serious, or to just integrate it. And Capcom games do that really well. Yeah,
they really do. It grates me when I see on the socials how people go, modern gaming is dead, and they'll talk about how they've played thousands of hours of the same FPSs, and I'm like, dude, look at the indies, look at all these fantastic games, and this is one of them. I can't wait, Fame.
Yes, sir. Hugger, you got the last word on Hi-Fi Rush.
Let it happen. I think, Bordy, the game you're thinking of is No Straight Roads.
I think that's it. Hold on. No Straight Roads?
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Because that's the one, Demi reviewed.
Yes. Exactly that.
let it happen. Let people have more experiences, and we all know that as much as we love those AAAs, as much as I'm looking forward to Stalker and all that, it's gonna be the indies that carry a lot of things. Indies always do. So let people have fun, and if it's a good game, it's a good game. If not, it got shadow dropped with no promotion, and they can always blame it on that. So let's just have fun.
With a service like Game Pass, you can do that. You can just kind of shadow drop it and say, "Hey, new games, go play it." And I think just for the fact that it being in that type of service, and automatically being the new to Game Pass, it's going to be right up front immediately, right? When they drop a game, it's automatically pushed to the front like new to Game Pass, right? So,
Hear that PlayStation?
Yeah.
Maybe hide the stuff on the PlayStation Store.
Bro, there's no shadow. Bro, every month is so disappointing.
But I think it's dope. You know, it took us 25 days, but we got more Xbox exclusives in 2023 than we did in all 2022. It took 25 days.
Yeah.
25 days to do what they didn't do in our 365 of last year. But I'm excited. I can't complain. I can't complain. Listen, we're going to go one more topic of the day. We're going to try to make it pretty quick. We got to get to our suggestions. We are currently working on our Forspoken review. Thank you to Square Enix for allowing us and giving us a review copy of Forspoken. We're a little bit behind, guys, so I do apologize. You guys give us a few days. It will be out, so you guys can get our reviewer's thoughts on Forspoken. I'm going to go around really quickly because one thing I would tell you, I've tweeted this out before. I'd like to preface this by saying what I'm about to say are my thoughts and my thoughts alone. My thoughts do not reflect the thoughts of anyone or the Level 1 gaming brand as a whole. However, I will say, I feel like looking at the review scores and getting the pulse of the gaming community, I feel like this game was not properly marketed and it was set up to fail. A lot of Square Enix games, like let's say Final Fantasy is getting a red carpet rolled out. This game didn't get that. This game could have used another delay, even if it was for a year. It could have used another delay. I just feel like, even I haven't played it yet, from what I've seen and what I'm reading, this game has some issues. I think the people are making a bigger deal about the dialogue than what it really is. Oh, the dialogue is cringy, bro.
Who cares?
Go ahead, Bordy.
Yep.
Have you played Guardians of the Galaxy? Have you watched the movies? Have you played? Have you watched any of the Marvel movies? Everyone loves those humors and like, oh yeah, self-referential meta, haha. But like when it comes to Forspoken, then it's like, I don't like his cringe.
It's too much. Yeah.
Come on. I feel like it's that thing where one person says it's bad, and so everybody's like, oh yeah, it's bad. Man, I'm cool, right? I'm cool, right? Like, yeah. So
I think we're looking at a Days Gone type situation where people are gonna love it like a year or two from now and be like, "Where's Forspoken 2?" But then it got dragged through the mud in the first 60 days. Yeah,
it'll be.
There's no way a sequel for this game gets greenlit. There's no way.
No. Not right now.
No.
Especially now, Square. How do I say this to make it sound like Square Enix? This is a Western game for them, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't see them truly moving forward they sold their Western studios, right? I don't see them making these type of games moving forward. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't people are not only out of context dialogue, but you get out of context choices like the protagonist being who she is and then having the history she has in the game, and then people comparing that to other African-American characters in any Square Enix games and saying how, Square Enix said that they're not going to have any of those in Final Fantasy 16, yada, yada. And people will spin everything to be whatever it is.
You people. Ain't gonna be people in Final Fantasy.
You, Flame, get out of that
exist
corner.
Alongside these dragons and giants. We don't have those around here.
Bro.
No, that's crazy.
No, but that's exactly it. It reminds me of the show that's like it's literally happening right now in the cartoon space with Velma, the show Velma. And like that show it's fine. It's fine. It's not spectacular things. And actually the fourth episode, like it proves like there could probably be more like potential with it. But like everybody's just like trashing it and saying, "Oh, I hate it, and I hate it, and I hate it." And then you watch it and it's just like, this is fine. I like it better than Big Mouth. And and everyone loves Big Mouth. And I think Big Mouth is pretty mid. But like, everybody likes the things and they like what they like. And I feel like if they gave it a chance, it'll be fine. Personally, I can think of so many TV shows where like first of all, the CW should. I have a totally different opinion about the CW. I can go with the writing for the CW. They should be abolished. But anyway, going back a little bit more focused. Man, they be baiting people and throwing you off. And anyway,
for no reason.
No reason. But like I could think of like I didn't like the first couple of episodes of Breaking Bad, BoJack Horseman, The Office, and I love those shows. I love those shows so much. So like giving a show like 2 episodes and being I hate it, or like I think that's immature and stupid. And I feel like a lot of people are just like, I don't like this person, I don't like Minnie Kaling, so I'm just not gonna like. Or it's like, I don't like Black women protagonists, I'ma just hate it. And it's just like, let things grow and let like actually play it before you just trash it. And I feel like that's
what's that dang old game over there for? That game is too woke. It's my right not to play Forspoken. I don't play that wokeness over here.
Bordy, I also think that for Velma specifically, it's the fact that it's Velma and there's an IP attached to it that people cherish too much, and then it's the humor, what it's trying to do. It should not be called Velma, Daphne, Fred. Like it shouldn't be those people. It should be other characters because the art in that show is insane. It is
great.
Beautifully animated.
It's great.
It reminds me of like an amped up Daria.
Yes.
Right? Yes. But then the writing plus who people try to think about Velma, they don't think about that Velma. They're thinking about Velma Jinkies. You know?
Oh, geez.
And then they look at this Velma and they're like, huh?
Yeah.
That's not her.
That's not her.
You can reimagine things, one, and then two, it's a coming of age story. It's very clear, like they're in high school, so they're all like, I don't know. I can think back of me when I was in high school, and I was like, oh, I think I know more. And no, you don't know anything.
No. It's also the fact that such distinguished writers are attached to the property. The one, she was in The Office. She directed some of the Office episodes and gave a lot of written episodes, and she's amazing. Then you see this type of humor. It's not for everyone, which I can see an audience. And right now there's a lot of people hate watching, but also, I don't know, Forspoken, at least this one, it's a type of thing like Callisto. I had to try Callisto and I liked Callisto, but a lot of people didn't like it. Same with this one. I'm going to try Forspoken at some point. Not now. Just like Ghostwire Tokyo. People dragged it through the mud and then I liked it when I tried it. But Forspoken, it's people overreact.
Dang, people did forget.
You hate women, people? Huh?
I don't know.
Hey, no, they do.
I forgot about that.
I'm sorry.
Too, yeah.
No, go ahead, B.
No, honestly, it's definitely a lot of things all in one.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here. Now, of course, like I always say, if you would have threw a $10 off discount on it, or you would have did like a THQ AA throw out, like, hey, let me just charge the $49.99 guy. It would have been better received, but let's be real, bro. They put the mask on Chadwick overseas for the Black Panther poster. Like they put his mask over. They didn't even want his face shown on the poster overseas. Like, so we can't sit here and act like having this beautiful black woman on the cover throwing magic wasn't gonna piss off some people. Like we cannot.
He's too powerful.
Like we can't act like that's not a real thing. So we know that is a portion of it, regardless of whether it's outwardly said or not. I mean, hell, they put a mask over Chadwick's face for the international poster. Wasn't on accident. So we got that, and then the dialogue thing, which was super weird.
It's an isekai. It's cringy funny. I don't know. I don't mind it. I've seen countless of animes that have the same.
I
Premise.
literally go to the isekai section of every. Well, it's only 2 now since everybody want to buy up at each other. But I go to the isekai section in Crunchyroll. Even in the most serious of them, it is still funny at its core. It's 2 worlds colliding, literally. And do you think it's gonna mesh wonderfully? I mean, even what was that real sad one? ReZero or Relife or
ReZero is one.
yeah, ReZero. As sad and horrible as that one is, it is funny at its core and it starts off hilarious.
Yeah.
But what did you expect? You got a teenager getting dropped off in another world
How old
with
is
a
she in the
bracelet that talks to her. Huh?
How old is she in the game?
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed they gave her the whole teenage role. But I didn't play it yet. I got the demo downloaded. Yeah, Fame got the new laptop. We
Crispy over here now.
but no, they really, this is getting hate drugged through the mud. And I really got a feeling we're gonna get a Days Gone situation. 2 years down the line, somebody's gonna post a screenshot of a dope moment on the hyped up version of Forspoken,
play it,
and then it's gonna go viral, and then everybody's gonna do the whole, well, where's Forspoken 2? And we're gonna see this, because that's exactly what happened with Days Gone. People,
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
I wonder, because it's supposed to be a 2-year exclusive. I still wonder if it ever will hit another console. If it wasn't for us, like I said, we were given a code on PlayStation 5. If I had a PS5, I would have done the review myself because the game looks dope. Maybe kind of wish we would have got it on PC, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get to the last part of the show because we like to give suggestions. I'm gonna go around the room, give us suggestions for somebody to watch and or play for this week. I'm gonna start with you. With you.
Okay, I got you.
With you.
Like I said last week, go play Persona 5 because that was the first one on there, and then go play Persona 3 and 4. Banging games if you know them. All on Game Pass, so you can go experience that. Go watch. I just started Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, and it's interesting. It reminds me a lot of where I live, and I'm into it so far. I don't know how much I'll be into it. And for a movie, because we're all about celebrating people of color and women getting their shine, go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Michelle Yeoh finally got her was it Oscar, Golden Globes or whatever? She deserves it. She's a queen.
Ocean and next Shang-Chi.
Yeah, go watch. She's in Shang-Chi. She's in James Bond. Go watch everything. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Go watch.
Oh yeah.
Go watch it. Just go enjoy it. Everything Everywhere All at Once is fantastic.
Wow, you up next, brother.
For recommendations, I was gonna say Persona because I'm playing 4 Golden right now. I've never played it, and it is a banger. In the spirit of Game Pass, go ahead and play Yakuza Like a Dragon. It is
let's go.
One of the greatest JRPGs I've ever played. It made my game of the year that year that came out. It wasn't Last of Us Part 2, like for many. Go ahead and play that. Play Yakuza 0 if you want to not play something turn-based, because that's a better introduction into the beat-em-up universe of Yakuza. If you want to watch something, while not in the spirit of inclusivity, it is in the spirit of history, I guess. Peaky Blinders. I've been watching Peaky Blinders, and it's a gangster, Victorian London, Industrial Revolution. It's, you see, they're all talking like this. You see, it's a lot of fun. It's really badass. It is very badass. There's a lot of clips that talk about Thomas Shelby as a hero. That man is a villain. So you're gonna watch the story of a villain because he's a gangster. If you want to read something, go ahead.
Amazing.
Cillian Murphy, I don't know. He was made in a lab. Like the man, I don't know. He looks fake. And if you want to read something, go ahead and read what was it? Dan Da Dan. It's a manga. It's on Shonen Jump. It's really good. Or if not, Chainsaw Man.
B, what you got this week, bro? And it better be the glory.
I haven't watched it yet. No, I haven't watched it yet. Look, don't judge me, but it's on there. Y'all threw me off. I had something awesome I was gonna say. Screw it. Go play Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Even though I know you won't. Tail World games, they're awesome. You get to create your own kingdom. You get to go around conquering, or you can just become a caravan guy and you just running around with your soldiers, just making sure your product is safe. And you can craft. I spent the last 6 hours crafting. There's so much you could do in this one world. You get to have a family, have your own family history. You can go destroy somebody else's family history. It's a whole magical world that I know you guys will never play, and it's okay. But it is on console, it's on Xbox, and it's on PlayStation. I don't know how I would play. I can't imagine how it plays.
Nerd.
Yeah, 100%.
I had
thank you, struggle. Nerd.
No, but I had something else planned, but then y'all, we was doing the dun dun dun, and then I was like, hey, but and then I lost it. And
hey,
it's
my
funny.
idea.
Hey, no, see, like I promise it'll come back later, last second, but keep going. I'm done. That's it.
And our guest of even Boardy McBoard, what do you suggest folks need to put their eyes on to watch or put their hands on, pause to play?
No pause.
No pause.
No, you don't pause. Straight ahead.
Mine will be a little bit like just older stuff. Just because I've been like going back through catalogs and stuff like that. Psychonauts 2 is still fantastic to this day. Play it. It's amazing to this day. Like it's so good. It's so beautiful. The humor is great. It talks about mental health issues very well. It's a beautiful, fantastic game, and I love Double Fine so much.
Double time, Double Fine, AA batteries.
Oh,
Double twins trying to jump my anatomy. If you ain't leave a like, you shouldn't have had the audacity. Shout out to Dallas.
Double flavor. Double flavor, double grand.
Continue. My bad.
Double flavor in your hand. Da 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 da. Oh wait. Oh, hold on.
No pause.
What had happened
no
was
Pause.
BoJack Horseman. Again, I'm doing a whole bunch of old stuff. I'm rewatching that. I love that show so much. I love that show so much. It's so good. There's this anime called Asobi Asobase, which is very parody and humor based, and it's just really fun. Let me see. You spell it ASOBI ASOBASE. It's so super funny and super just parody based. Oh, you think it's a slice of life? It's just weird, and we like that because we like weird humor. So yeah, we do.
Or is that the anthology one?
Anthology?
Is that like the three girls and it's like every day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Day to day, like Nichijou almost. Have you seen Nichijou? Okay. That's
absolutely. Good. And if you just want to like a little grasp of what that show is, if you're like, I'm not sure, watch the opening credit and then watch the ending credits and see how diametrically opposed they are. And it's just, this is hilarious. And if you just like animation, actually give Velma a chance. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And you know what?
Fine.
It's fine.
It is fine.
It's not bad. It's not great yet. Maybe it could be, but it's fine.
It could be.
Yeah.
It got greenlit for a season 2, so there's something in there.
Oh,
yeah.
And so I remembered. I'm gonna cut you off. I remembered.
Okay.
If you have a computer that can run it, at least at its bare recommendation, or you have your PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken, the demo is still up for there. Go try out Forspoken. Like, there's no I downloaded the demo. I'm gonna try and run it on my Husky Dusky. And I'm just go give it a shot. There you go. That's what it was.
Just try it.
That was my
For me, I got two show recommendations. Oh, now McBoardy, you had something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One more thing. The thing that we were just talking about, the rhythm game that we just spoke about.
Rush.
Yes. No, not Hi-Fi Rush. The one I just added.
No Straight Roads.
No Straight Roads. There you go. It looks super fun. So play it.
Really good.
Which if you know the Anime Man on YouTube, he does one of the voices in the game, and he's a big anime creator. So a little fun fact there.
Yeah.
Things you should watch. Number one, Struggle streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite game.
Xbox Expansion Podcast. Go watch that as well. If you're into K-dramas, I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again on Netflix. Go watch The Glory and thank me later. Go watch The Glory and thank me later. Next, Black Mafia Family. Fire. Black Mafia
That's what
Family.
you were calling us. I was like, yeah, and
Rebrand level 1 to BMF in a heartbeat if I legally could, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I know that's what we is. Okay, what are you talking about? Okay.
Yes, sir. The Glory. That's what I'm talking about. Go watch The Glory. Go watch Black Mafia Family.
Good suggestions, because Uncanny Counter, that shit.
Uncanny Counter.
I cried.
Bro,
Legit
it's so fucking good.
It's so
That
good.
show has no reason being that good.
Nope.
Bro.
K-drama.
No reason.
When he met his mama.
I need to announce season 2 now. It's been too long. I need season 2 ASAP of Uncanny Counter.
When he met his mama, bro.
Bro.
I cried like
bro.
A baby.
It hit you something different, bro. It hit. Uncanny Counter hits. To play, I haven't even played it yet, but I have it downloaded now. Downloaded from my phone just now. Go give Hi-Fi Rush a chance. They shadow dropped it today, and I think it looks super dope. I think it looks super fun. It's probably gonna be about 5-6 hours of fucking awesomeness. So go check that out. But listen, Bordy McBoard, I can tell you right now, with this beautiful smile you have and this amazing personality, we gotta have you back. Absolutely love having you here.
I feel honored. Yes.
For our people who come through, we think are amazing guests. Want to let you know right now, you're welcome to come inside the house, go inside the fridge, get whatever you want to drink, and come hang out anytime. Our casa is your casa. We love having you here and really appreciate you coming rocking with us. If it's not up already, B, can you drop Bordy McBoard's Twitter handle in the chat? We're also going to put it in the description of the video. If you're listening on Apple, iTunes, or Spotify, head over to the YouTube. Bordy McBoard's links will be there. Please give her a follow. It's been great for me to be able to do this podcast and not have any issues. Shout out to Citizen Snips who saved my life. I really appreciate that, my brother. I owe you one big time. Listen, we got a lot of stuff happening at lv1gaming.com. We got lots of reviews coming up. We're going to be just about at every convention in 2023, which I'm super excited about, from PAX East to PAX West to E3 to QuakeCon. We're going to be at DreamCon. We're lucky and blessed enough to be doing this and be able to get media access to these conventions, which has been such an amazing thing, right? So I want to shout out to the people that that rock with us again in the chat. Luke, Taku Fix, Struggle, Hustle, all of you guys that was up in here. I'm gonna go. I want to make sure I'm gonna drop some names really quick. Hold on. Boston Gamer was in here rocking with us. Swaggy C, of course, was rocking with us. The Salt Monsters in the building, man. All you guys who rock with us, man, really appreciate it. Let people know again that the podcast is back. I know we was out for a little bit, but we are back rolling every Wednesday. I'm spitballing here. I'm talking too much. But with all that said, congratulations. You guys leveled up to 232. This was the WFP Podcast. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Don't forget to wash your feet, brush your teeth, and all that good stuff. Take care of yourself. Wear a mask. Don't sneeze out. And peace.
사랑해.